right now, and you should also be able to see my screen as we're getting this live webinar started. This is Mike Linkenauger here with the Short Sale Specialist Network and Realty Associates. And joining me is Randy Cochran from United Credit Education Services. Say hey to everybody, Randy.
Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're located around the country. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Very good. So hopefully you guys can hear myself and Randy okay. I just heard a little blip on Randy's side, but again, hopefully you can hear us right now. Turn up your volume, get your things set, because we're going to roll through some information pretty quick here. Before we get started, let's do a couple quick ground rules here. We are going to run through, just kind of go over some really great credit information and, some great tools out there to really help turn your short sale sellers into buyers again in no time. We're going to go over some basic things with credit, and then at the end, we're going to answer any and all of your questions that you may have about anything that we talk about today. And remember, everybody that's on this live webinar right now today, at the end, we're going to share with you a list of lenders out there who do loans one day after a short sale foreclosure or even a bankruptcy. That's right. You can get financing right now, right out of a short sale or foreclosure. We've got a few different lenders who cover all parts of the countries, and we're going to give that to you just for taking the time to kind of listen a little bit more of this and talk a little bit more about credit restoration and how to get items like short sales removed from credit. So, we love you guys. We're at Short Sale Specialist Network. A good percentage of the people that are on this call right now are agents who do a lot of short sales around the country. And many of you know, you get a buyer, you take them through a short sale, and they're already in a hardship most of the time when you get to them. Their credit is typically destroyed. They've been late on payments for a while. They've really gotten hit hard. So, what are the ramifications for them? Agents always wonder, well, how long does it take for a buyer to be able to purchase a home again? And how can they get their credit fixed? How can they get stuff like short sales and foreclosure removed from credit? How can they get their credit score improved by like hundreds of points sometimes in a short period of time? So we're going to cover and answer all of that stuff for you today. While we're waiting for people to join the call, let's just talk about the importance of credit real quick, Randy. Because they were mentioning while we were waiting for the call to start about Fannie Mae, an article that was published earlier this year about credit requirements. Let's talk about that a little bit, Randy. What can you share about that?
Yeah, Mike, there was an article published in USA Today, and when we're done with the webinar, if you'd like to Google it, you can. It's entitled Mortgage Hassles Frustrating You, and it was published on April 7th of this year. And to just kind of summarize the article, what it said is, as of last fall, the average successful applicant for a Fannie Mae-backed mortgage, which is now the typical type of mortgage in the marketplace, had a credit score of nothing short than a stellar 769 credit score. And that's on a scale of 300 to 850. And with nearly 80% of the public having a score below 750, and you'll learn a little bit more about that information today on today's webinar, that's pretty shocking. What I found more shocking about the article, though, is the average applicant that was actually denied a mortgage, they had a respectable score of 734. And so when we look at a lot of the loan programs that are out there right now where you can get an FHA loan, for example, with anywhere between a 600 and a 640 credit score, even if individuals have those types of scores, based on what we're seeing, they're still not qualifying for their purchase. And so that's why the information that we're going to share with everybody today is so important, because credit is a game, and if you understand the game, you have a much better chance of winning.
Absolutely, and winning for us as real estate agents really is doing our part to help create as many home buyers as possible. Right? We want to create more clients. If you're on this webinar right now, hopefully a big goal for you is to how do I create more of a pipeline? How do I create more of a flow of business that's going to put money in my pocket each and every month. So let's get started here, and I'm going to kind of turn over a lot of the next few minutes in this presentation to Randy. So we'll kind of get going on here right now, and Randy, I'll leave it to you.
Awesome, thanks, Mike. One of the things that I want to share with everyone as we're getting started, just a little bit about me. I was a mortgage broker for 10 years. I've also been a real estate broker now for over 13 years, and before that I was in automotive finance for about 12 years. So I thought I knew a lot about credit until I really started working with this company about almost 4 years ago now. So you know, during that period of time I've learned a lot of things that I thought that I knew a lot about, but you know, as the saying goes, you don't know what you don't know. So let's jump right in. And one of the things that we've talked about now with our clients for the past several years is recovery programs. What happens after the short sale or the foreclosure takes place, or the distressed sale, maybe it was a deed in lieu, whatever a person's individual circumstance was, what can we do to get somebody back on track absolutely as fast as possible? And so we came up with a few different ways to do that. And the first one is credit counseling services. There are credit counseling services out there that can definitely help people, especially if they have other debt other than their home that's a burden to them. Like student loans, for example. Right now we're seeing a huge increase in people that want to buy homes but have student loan debt that they didn't have before, because when the market turned a few years ago, they went back to school, they changed careers, and now those loans are maturing, and they're keeping a lot of the people from making that major purchase. Also, bankruptcy. Bankruptcy does have its place in the market and a place in a person's life. That's why the bankruptcy laws were created. And before, a person that had filed bankruptcy had to wait 2 years and 1 day before they could purchase another home with FHA, and as you'll learn on today's webinar, that guideline has changed, and a person can actually get into a home much quicker. And then we're going to talk about credit restoration today, and then also IDAs, which is an individual development account. And you'll want to write down this website. It's www.cfed.org. This is an income-based qualification program. A person would go there. You can find a local nonprofit in your area that has an individual development account program. It's financially based, so they have to fill out a financial application. If your client qualifies, over a very short period of time, they can save up to $6,000 towards the purchase of a home. They can go back to school, or they can open up a business. But for every $1 they deposit in their savings account, it's going to get matched with up to $3 of federal and donated funds. So just a fantastic program. Not a lot of people have heard about that program, so definitely check that out. But before we jump in and talk about a little bit about credit and ultimately what we're really going to talk about, and that's how to get somebody back into home ownership one day after the short sale takes place, is let's talk about the 10 biggest myths about credit. And the first myth about credit is credit agencies are empowered with some kind of governmental authority. And actually, credit agencies have no legal authority at all. They're simply privately held billion-dollar companies that are in the process of selling everybody's information. They're just digging dirt up on us and selling it like crazy. Myth number 2, credit agencies are required by law to keep derogatory items on your credit for 7 to 10 years. And there's actually no law that says that credit agencies can really report anything on us at all. Just the opposite is actually true. Credit agencies are required by law to automatically remove items that the statute goes beyond. So for example, right now we actually have a client that just finished our program. Their bankruptcy was 12 years old that was on their credit. And at 10 years, because there's so many Americans out there, and most of these companies are not even housed and doing, actually working here in the U.S. because they outsource their processing to other countries. Nobody's sitting in a cubicle thinking, you know, I'm just going to take Mr. and Mrs. Smith's bankruptcy off their credit today at 5 o'clock just because it's been 10 years. That just doesn't happen. Myth number 3, it's impossible to get a bankruptcy off of credit. And really, bankruptcies come off like any other type of derogatory item that's being incorrectly reported, that could be obsolete, erroneous, misleading. Really, it has nothing to do with the nature of the derogatory. They all pretty much come off the same. So bankruptcies, foreclosures, tax liens, collections, they can all come off of a person's credit report, even if they're correct. Myth number 4, the information on your credit report cannot be changed. And the opposite, again, is true under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Both federal and various state laws require that items be removed if they're not 100% accurate or cannot be verified in a timely manner. That's a key word there, verified in a timely manner. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go through the webinar today. Myth number 5, it's illegal or immoral to have the information on your credit report altered or removed. And not only is it not illegal or immoral, but it's what the Fair Credit Reporting Act is really all about. The act was enacted by Congress really to protect us. I know as a consumer, unless I signed an agreement with a creditor where they can report something on me, I didn't give anybody else verbal or written permission to do that. If you get a parking ticket and you don't pay it, that could go on your credit report. If you rent a movie at Redbox and don't pay for your movie, and maybe your card doesn't clear and they get a collection or a judgment on you, you didn't really give them the permission to do that. You gave them permission to collect, but you didn't give them permission to report. Myth number 6, paying a past due debt removes it from your credit report. And really, just because you pay an old debt doesn't change or erase the fact that at one time you were not paying on it as agreed. And these records can be changed. Even if you, let's say, made your car payment 30 days later, your house payment 30 days late, or it was a short sale and it was a much longer period of time, those items can still be removed or corrected to show paid as agreed. Myth number 7, inquiries are not derogatory and will not affect your credit standing. And really anything that hits your credit erodes your financial credibility. And we recently had a client that had gone online. They applied for a mortgage loan with some online company. Well, that was just a company that just sold that lead to all these other mortgage companies, and because everybody pulled their credit and an inquiry is a rated item, it lowered their credit score to the point where they didn't even qualify. And so when you're applying for credit, be very careful on the amount of inquiries and the types of inquiries that you're having hit your credit. Myth number 8, if you get a derogatory item removed, it will just come back. And not if it's removed legally. And when it's removed legally with cause under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, legally it can't be placed back on. Now, I do tell people every day there are a couple instances when things can come back on a person's credit once they're removed. And I will share both of those with you really quick. The first time is when you have a collection, and let's say that they sell that collection to another collection agency and it's re-reported. We see collections, they're the same collection oftentimes reported multiple times on the same credit report. And then the other time is in the case of a bankruptcy, because bankruptcies report twice. They report when you file and then they report when you discharge or dismiss. So there may be certain circumstances where different items come back on, but that's not always the case. So myth number 9, a debt collector can call you repeatedly at work, threaten to sue you, take your house, put you in jail if you don't pay up on old credit card bills. Well, the best thing about America is there's no such thing as debtor's prison, and so there are limitations to what debt collection companies can do. Unfortunately, they're a lot like the credit reporting agencies. They don't care. They violate the codes and the rules and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act all the time because they would rather pay the fine because they ultimately end up collecting more money. We suggest anybody that's being collected upon that they send in a debt validation letter and have that debt verified and validated, because these collection companies try and collect on debt that isn't valid all the time or the statute of limitations is run out. And then myth number 10, I can't restore my credit on my own. And yes, you can. I tell people every day you can restore your credit on your own. You can try and do it yourself, just like you could go represent yourself in a court of law as an attorney, or because this is a real estate related webinar, you could sell your home as a for sale by owner. But for the most part, people hire professionals to do that for them, because we know as real estate agents we can protect their legal liability, we can navigate them through the transaction, and we can ultimately, in most cases, get them more money in their pocket. And so a person, when they challenge the credit reporting agencies or are on their own, if the credit reporting agency responds back and says this debt or this reporting is verified or valid, that's usually the point in time where the consumer just says, well, I tried and they said it was correct, so I guess I can't do anything. And that's where the professionals like us really step in and take over and get them to reopen an investigation. So what it really comes down to is, is simply understanding the Fair Credit Reporting Act. There's some things that are not in your credit score, and a lot of them have to do with fair housing and lending, and you know, a few of those things are you know, of course, your race, color, religion, all that good stuff, your age, how much money you make, where you live, but those things that are not in your credit score, a lot of those things should be, especially if you think about it. The only time that things that are negative get reported on your credit is when they're negative. A lot of that positive stuff that should be reported never does get reported. So so keep that in mind when you're considering your credit score. Let's talk about the probability of default, and this was shocking to me. The likelihood that a borrower is going to default and go 90 days past due on some type of debt, whether it's a mortgage, an installment loan, or a credit card, if a person has a 599 credit score or less, the chances that they're going to go past due are 51%. So as you can see on the screen, if somebody has over an 800 credit score, that probability is only 1%. But if they drop below a 499 credit score, that probability goes up to 80%. So think about that. Let's say you had a friend or family member come to you and say, hey, will you give me a small loan? And you pulled their credit and their credit score was a 450. How comfortable would you feel knowing that you were going to get your money back? Well, that's exactly how the creditors think. Let's talk about today's realities. Lots of people have lost their jobs. People are still losing their jobs. I just saw the job report came out here not long ago. I think our unemployment rate was like 7.3%, and in a normal market it should be around 3.5. Many people still losing their homes. Lots of short sales are still out there, and lots of people have lost their savings and investments. Now, 58% of the population, they don't pay their credit card balances in full every month. They have lots of debt, mostly credit card debt, student loan debt. When those things increase, more than likely you're going to see interest rates skyrocket, credit scores plummet. So today, your credit score is being monitored pretty much like a vital sign. One of those machines that makes a beep sound. About 25% of the population has a 599 credit score below, and right now that's 36.5 of the nation's home buyers won't qualify to buy a home. Now, if you're a real estate agent on today's webinar, you just went, oh my gosh, that's our marker right there. Because if 25% of the population can't buy, who am I going to sell homes to? Because the other 25% or 50% may have had a short sale or foreclosure within the past couple of years. And over the course of a person's lifetime, less than excellent credit could cost a person anywhere from $200 up to $1 million in fees and penalties. Now, about 80% of all credit reports have errors on them causing lower credit scores. 60 Minutes did a fantastic 1-hour presentation about 3 or 4 weeks ago. You can Google that. They said that there are over 40 million people right now in America with inaccurate credit scores because of erroneous information that's on their credit reports. About 83 million people don't even know what their credit score is. And just for being on today's webinar, one of the things that we're going to give to you for free is you can go to annualcreditreport.com, download your free credit report, because you need to know what's on your own credit. And don't pull all 3 reports when you get there. Just pull one and then stagger it. Pull one about every 4 months. That way you always see what's hitting your credit. Most of the time, people don't realize that their credits something's happened on their credit until they go to make a major purchase, and then they find out that somebody stole their identity. Now, Annual Credit Report doesn't provide credit scores. You can go to creditkarma.com, get your credit score, but understand that there's lots of different types of credit scores. There's auto scores, there's mortgage scores, property management companies use different scores. So understand that you may see a score there that may reflect, and we see this all the time, a 650, but then all of a sudden a person goes to apply for a mortgage loan and their mortgage lender says, no, your mortgage score is only 580. So understand there is a difference. About 43% of employers use credit scores as a factor in determining who they're going to hire and sometimes promote. I actually think it's more around 60%. We see that more and more. We do work with a couple companies that basically headhunt or hire people. We have a client in our program right now that was denied a 6-figure position because they had a collection on their credit, and they were going to work for a large bank, and the bank said, nope, you've got a derogatory on there, it's a collection or a judgment, you can't come to work for us. So really scary. how much your auto insurance premium will cost. And ironically, I had my insurance agent in my office just 2 days ago, and we were talking about credit, and he said that credit scores can actually be as much as 150% higher if you have a lower credit score, but he said that a person with a lower credit score is actually going to get a higher rate than somebody that has tickets, which I thought was just shocking. But credit affects all areas of our life. It affects our financial freedom. And really, people feel ashamed, they feel powerless, they feel overwhelmed, and they really feel like they have no hope, especially if they're going out to make a major purchase, or maybe they're transitioning from a short sale into a rental. We recently had a client that was selling their home as a short sale. They went to rent, and when they pulled their credit, they were already reporting their short sale on their credit as a foreclosure when in fact they were actually selling the home, so it was prohibiting that person from renting. So what really can be done, what it really comes down to is education, and that's what our webinar is really all about today. Is we're here to educate you on how credit works and all the options and alternatives that are available out there. Credit awareness is on the rise. You can't turn on the TV, listen to the radio without hearing something to do with credit. Before we really jump into the meat and potatoes, I want to make sure everybody knows the length of time that things stay on credit reports. Bankruptcies, collections, public records and inquiries. Bankruptcy stay for 10 years, collections 7 years, public records 10 years. So, based on these items, if a person doesn't do anything about what's on their credit, it's a lot like being sick and not going to the doctor and getting a prescription or an antidote for why you're sick. If you don't go, nothing changes. It just stays there. Oftentimes they say that time heals all wounds, and in a lot of cases that is the case, but does somebody really want to wait 10 years to get back into home ownership? Probably not. So when a person goes through the credit restoration process or the recovery process, if they have collections, judgments, and liens, we always tell people don't be too quick to pay those old collections, because a lot of times the statute has run out on those. A lot of times they've been sold, and sometimes we can just get them removed from credit without actually having to pay them. But if you do pay something, make sure that they're reflected as satisfied, paid, and released. Just because a person pays something that's past due or a collection, most of the time the creditor doesn't go back and change the reporting on it, because they don't make any money changing the reporting on it. They just make the money collecting the debt. So kind of just to recap where we're at so far, credit reporting agencies are privately held billion-dollar companies. They don't verify items on people's credit reports. They pay huge fines every year for failing to update credit files. And again, they don't make their money correcting credit. They make money selling credit to creditors. Now, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, everybody should understand that. We're not going to go through that today. If you have trouble sleeping at night, download it, read it. It'll put you right to sleep. But everybody really needs to understand it. You can restore your score. The Fair Credit Reporting Act does give us that option. Credit score facts. Credit scores simply measure whether or not you're moving towards bankruptcy. And what I found the most ironic thing about the credit scoring system is it has 88 negative rating factors and only 5 positive rating factors. So the system as a whole is set up for failure, because if there's 88 ways for things to go wrong and only 5 ways for them to go right, how much success is really any individual ever going to have? Now, there are a lot of things that you can control about your credit. 35% of your credit score is your payment history, 30% is the amounts that you owe, 15% is the length of credit history, 10% is new credit, and then 10% is the types and numbers of cards in use. And this is why we see people with little to no credit oftentimes. They don't have bad credit, they just have low scores, and that's because their history isn't long enough to really give them that score that they need. Higher credit score advantages: you can obtain loans faster, you have more available credit, and really with an understanding of the system, you can improve your credit standing really from an F to an A+ in a short amount of time. And not everybody's an F, we know that, but let's say that maybe you have B credit. You could easily get to A+ credit in a very short period of time. We're going to share with you how we do that. Now, what you're looking at,
here's the solution.
Yeah, here's the solution. So what you're looking at here on the screen is our website, and this is something you want to write down. It's www.united-credit.org. And a couple important things while you're here. There's a video tab on the top right-hand corner. You can go click on that after the webinar, watch a brief video about credit, our company and our services. You'll notice here on the screen, it talks a little bit about our money-back guarantee, talks a little bit about all the things that can be removed from credit, late payments, collections, charge-offs, foreclosures, repossessions, judgments, all those things. You can see our Better Business Bureau rating. But the most important thing on here is the login button on the top right-hand corner. When a person enrolls in our service, they just have to do one simple thing, and that's verify their identity with our corporate office. That's really, really simple. Copy their driver's license, a utility bill, or a piece of mail that goes to their home, and then a copy of their Social Security card or something with their Social Security number on it. Pretty easy to do. Now, once they've verified their identity, our corporate office is going to pull their credit. Now, there are a lot of scams out there. You got to be careful. And where a lot of the scams come into place is where people take people's money and then say, okay, now that I've got your money, you need to go out to a car dealership, you need to go to a mortgage company, and you need to get somebody to pull your credit, and you need to bring it back to us, and then we're gonna go through it. Well, our company is very different. We're actually going to pull their credit, and we're going to post it in their information center. And as you can see, there's a barometer there on the screen that shows this sample credit score. But this is also awesome for the lending partners that we work with, because now we can take the mortgage people that are helping our clients, and they can have access to this information with the customer's approval, and they can monitor their progress. So if you click on the Progress tab, you're going to see, again, the credit score, but then you're going to see the Experian account, the Equifax account, the TransUnion account, and you can see all the derogatory items that are currently being disputed and see when those items are deleted or updated. That way, a mortgage lending partner or a car dealership or the individual themselves now know that they can go out and they can reapply for credit or go buy a home. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. So the nice part is being able to track the progress that a person's making. Now, once a person enrolls, a credit coach is going to be assigned to their file. They're going to go through their credit report trade line by trade line, and they're going to prepare the dispute letters on behalf of the customer. What they're going to do is they're going to mail them directly to the consumer, because they need to be signed with a wet signature. So the consumer is going to want to sign them in blue ink. Then they're going to just want to pop them back in the mail to the credit reporting agencies, because based on the Fair Credit Reporting Act, anything that's disputed has to come directly from the consumer. Now, once the credit reporting agencies receive those, they have 30 days to reach out to each creditor, verify and validate 8 different items per trade line, and then they're going to send those responses directly back to the customer in writing. They simply need to forward them to the corporate office. Their credit coach will update their information center and prepare their new dispute letters based on how the creditor responded to the credit reporting agency. That's very important, because again, let's say that they maybe said, yeah, this is a verified debt, or this is a verified reporting of this debt. Well, at that point, that's not where we want to give up. That's the point where we want to go right back at them. And so that's very, very important. But you can see here right on the right-hand side, there's a summary. You can see the original accounts. Unfortunately, this person had some new derogatories pop on, and sometimes the damage isn't always done. Sometimes what we're doing with our company is damage control. We have a client right now that's going through our program that is simply trying to maintain their credit, because if their credit drops to a certain point, they're going to lose their job. And so for them, it's a huge investment to keep their job, because that's their employment. And we know that the damage isn't done. They're going through a very tough time, and we all have probably seen a lot of people where bad things happen to good people. This is a good person that some bad stuff's happening to them in their life right now. So awesome program. Just a little bit about our company. We have a 10-year track record. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. We've served over 160,000 clients, removed over 600,000 derogatory items from people's credit reports, 60,000 public records, and we have a 100% satisfaction money-back guarantee. That's so important that our company really puts their money where their mouth is. So if you check out our success rate as of today, I went on to united-credit.org, clicked on the testimonial, pulled up our success rate as of today. We've removed over 156,000 late payments, over 427,800 collections, over 72,000 public records, corrected over 27,000 personal information, for a total of 684,513 items. That's a tremendous track record compared to maybe a mom and pop company that nobody's ever heard of, or somebody trying to do it on their own. And I'm not sure how familiar everybody is on today's webinar with the industry that comes along with credit restoration and education, but there are individuals and other companies out there that charge as much as $5,000. I've actually heard of somebody charging over $10,000 for a far inferior service, no money back guarantee. The good news is we don't even charge half of that. It's not even $1,000. Our service is actually only $499. And when you think about that, $499, that's a pretty minimal investment, especially if somebody's going to save a ton of money in fees, interest, and penalties. We had one of our clients in New York actually save over $2,000 per year on their auto insurance alone. So $499, 1 year's worth of service. Doesn't matter if they have, if an individual has 3 or 4 derogatory accounts or 100 derogatory accounts, that includes them all. Now, for everybody taking time out of their day today, and we want to really get to, how to get somebody into a home one day after short sale. That's why we're going a little quick today. One of the things that we're doing today for taking time out of your day is if you have any customers, clients, friends, family members, you can take advantage of our promo today and save $100 off our annual program. You can get 1 year's worth of service for $399, save the $100. And I know, a lot of people on today's webinar, if you're in real estate mortgage, like myself, I had an investment property that's a short sale. I had some bumps in the road just like most people. I had to take advantage of the service myself. So I'm a satisfied customer with the company myself because I went through that short sale situation. So if you've had bumps in the road in the past, take advantage of this program. So really, how long does a seller have to wait to get into a home after a short sale takes place? Now, I know Mike's gone out and done a bunch of due diligence and some research, and we found that there are some lenders out there that will now do a loan 1 day after a short sale takes place. So if somebody had a short sale on their property, they can get a loan 1 day after short sale. Now, there are some caveats to that. These are nationwide programs. There are portfolio programs. A couple of them are backed by very large insurance companies, so that's where the money's coming from. Because there's no waiting with these types of loans, we're actually seeing where some people are getting pre-qualified to go out and purchase another home before their home even sells as a short sale. In fact, I heard recently in California that there were some people that were actually making the sale of their home contingent upon the purchase of another home as a short sale, which I thought was a fantastic idea. Because there's no waiting period, the only caveat to this is there can't be a default reported. Now, we know that not everybody continues to make their payments on time when they're going through a short sale. And so if a person's gone past due and they have late payments on their credit, they can still participate in this program. They simply need to enroll in credit restoration. Our goal is to go in and just simply get that account to show that there were no late payments. It can still show as a short sale.
Randy,
it just
on that, we have a couple lenders that do them the day after a foreclosure or even a bankruptcy.
Wow.
So there are portfolio lenders out there. These are portfolio loans. All the other terms that you mentioned up here are the same, but we have a couple on this list that I'm going to be emailing you, 2 different ones that will do them right after even a bankruptcy or foreclosure. I think both of the ones that I have, they will not allow more than one. So, you can't have like 2 foreclosures and a bankruptcy. You can have one of them, and you can literally get a loan right out of them. So the fact that somebody is in default and it is a fully reported default, that can be worked around too right now. But your other requirements are there. Most of them are 20 to 30% down payment. You need 70, 80% LTV. the rates are a little bit higher. But, I mean, let's face it, for a lot of these guys, they're short selling their homes and going in and buying another place that's comparable, and it's still having a much, much, much payment in many cases. So.
Awesome.
But back to this. We've talked a little bit about a couple things. Now's the time to grab your pen and paper, guys. First off, I'm going to show you the names of a couple lenders in a minute, but I'm going to email everybody that's under the sound of my voice. If you're on this call right now, you're going to get a list of these lenders that do loans the day after sale, foreclosure, or bankruptcy. And there's lenders in pretty much every state on this list here. I think there's two different, like, really nationwide lenders. One of them is kind of limited. Write down this information. Here's where you grab your pen and your paper. Write down fixedcreditscore.info. That's www.fixedcreditscore.info. That's where you can find out and where you can send your clients to sign up for these credit repair services. Another place where you want to go right away to, write this down, is ucesvideo.com. That is regarding our agent affiliate program there. I'm actually an agent affiliate. I have my own website. I have my own company now doing these credit repair services and offering credit repair services to clients of our real estate brokerage. This is an outstanding way for you as an agent to have an additional source of income. So if there's anybody out there that's looking for another job, looking for additional income, this is an outstanding program for you guys. I know you know people right now. Everybody who's listening under the sound of my voice, you can probably write a list of 10 people that could use this service. You very well, highly likely, if you're in the real estate industry, you're a person who can use this service. As part of our agent affiliate program, guys, you're going to get your own website that you can send people to. There's outstanding training resources, so much training and marketing for you here. I'm going to show you some of that in just a minute. But again, you can go to ucesvideo.com, or you can also find this information on my website. This is fixedcreditscore.info, fixedcreditscore.info. Here's what the website looks like. This is a new slide here. I haven't seen this. So when you set up a site, oh, this is actually my site here. Randy, very good. You added this slide on here for me, huh? So here's what the website looks like. This is my site here. Here's a number to call, right? If you want to talk to Randy or me about credit repair services, you have a client in mind, if you want to talk about getting signed up as an affiliate, as an agent right now, write down this number here, 800-480-1917, extension 2222. I'll give that again, 800-480-1917, extension 2222. Or you can email, write this down too, guys, firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com. firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com. Any of those numbers or that website, fixedcreditscore.info, will get you in touch with myself and Randy here. And this will get you either if you want information about the affiliate program. Well, here's tell them a little bit about this. This is the full deal package here. Tell them about the protection plan here, Randy.
Yeah, one of the questions that we get oftentimes is, I can't afford $499 right now. We do have a couple other payment options available, and so we can share those with the individuals. And one of the payment options that we have available is $87 per month. And what that is that's our protection plan membership program, and it actually includes all the services that our company has to offer. And that's going to give a person credit restoration. It's also going to give them what's called ultra score, because there are a lot of individuals out there that have low scores and no derogatories on their credit. So I recently had a client go through this program. When they enrolled, they had a 648 credit score, which isn't a bad credit score, but they went from a 648 credit score to a 797 in less than 120 days. No derogatories on their credit, just a low score. LifeLock identity theft protection, there's an identity stolen in America every 3 seconds. Personally, I've had my identity stolen 5 times in the last 18 months. Apparently somebody likes me. The MyCare plan is a living will, trust, healthcare, and a financial power of attorney. A person's also going to receive an online financial lockbox, as well as a program called Debt Zero, which is awesome for home buyers because if a person has more debt than what they want, they can take advantage of that. We had a client take advantage of the Debt Zero program not long ago. When they originally qualified to purchase a home, they could buy about 160, but because they were able to pay off so much debt while they were going through the credit restoration program, when they purchased 230. So a $50,000, $60,000 difference just in their buying power for participating in a really simple program. So, you know, either way, the whole key to getting back on your feet is participating in some type of program. So when you go to Mike's website, simply click on the products. You can learn about each one of them individually if you'd like.
Yep, and I'll run you through there, guys, in 1 second before we finish this call. So, Randy, recap today's message here and what we have here.
Well, today's message is simply this. If you have a low credit score, you can do something about it. If you don't do something about it, you know, that's on each individual person. Our company does 95% of the work. Last year we helped approximately 19,000 people get their credit back on track. As Mike mentioned, you know, right now we don't have a shortage of customers. What we really have is a shortage of agents with our company. So if you're interested in our agent affiliate program, take a look at that, especially if you like helping people, like earning a little bit of extra income. But our program is inexpensive. We have that A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. It comes with a money-back guarantee, and we produce fast results. Today's webinar is not a sales pitch. It's simply a solution to a very expensive problem.
And here's what I love, too, is a unique value proposition. If you sign up as an agent affiliate, this is what we're doing right now to really help us get more listings, more buyers and more sellers, is the agents that work for my brokerage company here in Florida. They are promoting this, and it's great. It says, buy or sell your home with me, and we'll fix your credit for free. That has a nice ring to it, right? Buy or sell your home with me, and we'll fix your credit for free. But look, here's how this works, guys. Okay, first off, you don't have to put any money up front for this, okay? But a great way to get new clients, if you're an agent affiliate like I am myself, is to come and say to potential clients, hey, I want to help you get a better score. You know, if you're doing a short sale with me, I'm going to help you short sale your home, and then I'm going to help you get back on track and get your financial future secure and in order. Or if you have a buyer, you could tell them, well, you know, it's good that you have a 660 score, but, you know, gosh, if you got it up to a 760, you might qualify for a Fannie Mae loan. You're going to get a better interest rate. Work with me, and I will help you get your credit restored. So here's what you do. Right away, if it's a buyer, you get them to pay out of pocket first and buy the service themselves. And then at closing, once they close and buy a property with you, they buy a home with you, then they're reimbursed for the service that they paid for out of pocket themselves. Or if it's a seller, obviously out of the commission at closing, you take the money, the $399 there, or if you want to pay for a protection plan, $87 a month, and sign them up for the credit restoration service after closing. But again, this is what a great unique value proposition is to help you as an agent affiliate get more business and get on the right track. So again, here's where you go today. Go ahead and write this stuff down. Visit fixcreditscore.info. That is my personal site there. You're going to want to call 800-480-1917, extension 2222, or email First Coast Financial Services at gmail.com. Now, I want to answer, before we finish this up today here, let's see if we got anything else. Okay, that's it. I want to answer one question, and that's the question that we titled this whole webinar, is how to get short sales and foreclosures removed from credit reports, right? Randy, here's our experience with that, and here's the way to do that. Okay, first and foremost, the whole goal of credit restoration services, guys, is to leverage the Fair Credit Reporting Act to the advantage of the consumer. Okay, now, you might be saying, well, okay, well, they reported as, well, a short sale isn't an actual credit reporting item, so you guys know that, but it does show up as paid as negotiated, right, or settled in full. here's the dilemma. How do you get that removed from a credit report? Well, here's the thing. Even if it was reported correctly, many times it's reported incorrectly. Randy mentioned a case when it's reported as a foreclosure sometimes. That's actually very, very common that happening. But if it is reported correctly, the interesting part is many times in the dispute process, when there's a dispute letter sent that really aims to leverage the Fair Credit Reporting Act, that asks that that debt be verified and proven and all of that, many times if the credit reporting agency and the person, the individual that reported the item doesn't respond correctly to the request in the hands of the consumer, the item has to be withdrawn. Many times, there's so many times that these agencies that are reporting the item credit, they will not take the time to go and try to find the debt and try to justify the actual item on there. Many times they'll just flat out remove them because a request is made. So there's a lot of ways where if you sign up and you have an aggressive program that's really, really aimed to help consumers get items removed from their credit and really restore their credit, many times these items are removed automatically, even if were reported correctly. But again, what the goal is ultimately to leverage the Fair Credit Reporting Act to force these reporting agencies to really, really remove anything that's even remotely inaccurate, or to prove or verify items that are reported accurately. And that's how the system works in a nutshell. So here's what we're going to do real quick here. We're about to open it up for questions here in 1 second. Trying to get out of here. Okay, here we go. Here's my site here, guys, and I want to show you this. If you sign up and you're interested in becoming an affiliate today, you can go on my site here, and Randy took you to, was that ucsvideo.org, Randy, there? UCESvideo?
Yeah, ucesvideo.com.
ucesvideo.com. That still drops you to a landing page on my site. This is information about our affiliate program. But if you're on fixedcreditscore.info and you click on Career Opportunity here, this goes over all of the info about how to become an agent affiliate. Now, you're probably wondering, again, how much does it cost to be an affiliate? Before we go into that, let me show you the back end real quick here, because I'm always excited about this. This is my back end login, and you can really see who Financial Education Services is here. First off, there's tons of training resources and motivational calls. There's massive, massive amounts of training out there to help you sell these products and to show you what you can do and how you can add to your business. I love all of the marketing resources. I'm always tickled to death about this, because anytime you do an open house, or if you're a broker, you have agents on your team that do open houses, there's all kinds of flyers that you can give to people. I mean, just look at these flyers. This is just in English ones and Spanish ones, but these are all different flyers here just for credit restoration services that you can give to people to inform them. And these will automatically have your contact information on them. I love this. So you can see on here, this is my back end. You can see all of the people you sign up under you. You can see all of their information. You get paid referral fees and fees weekly, so you'll get a check weekly. But here's what you do. Here's the cost involved. If you go to my website, fixedcreditscore.info or ucesvideo.com, and you click on Career Opportunity right here, you can find out more information about it, all the training, how the compensation works here at the bottom, right? And you can go and get all this information about this and click Enroll Now and join our team. Did you see that right here, guys? Look, let me go back. Join our team right here on the left column here, and enroll now as an agent. The cost to do that is, first off, if you just want to get the standard enrollment, is $249. That's a one-time fee, and then you're going to pay $99 annually. Now, you have to keep active if you do that. So what we really include, that includes your website, all the marketing materials that I mentioned, all that. We encourage everybody to do the protection plan. So what the protection plan is you'll pay $199 up front, so you save money on the front end, plus $87 a month. there were a few things that you didn't mention on the protection plan, but it's $286 you pay today, and then $87 a month after that. Randy, there's a few other things. There's a little donation to the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation, but you actually get a prepaid MasterCard, right, to help you build your credit up. Isn't there a life insurance policy as well now, Randy? Tell me about some other stuff that's in the protection plan.
Yeah, the awesome part about about becoming an agent affiliate is you can take advantage of the protection plan membership, get all the services that our company offers for yourself. You will get $30,000 in term life insurance without a medical exam. It's a double indemnity rider, pays out $60,000 upon accidental death or dismemberment. But on top of that, this is a great way for you to get all of the services that we offer for free, and there's two ways to do that. One way is to have 5 individuals enrolled in the protection plan membership program, and or team members if you choose to grow a team. We're a hybrid marketing company. We're a lot like Aflac. I'm sure everybody's heard of the Aflac duck that quacks all the time in the commercials. We're set up very similar to that. But in addition, as long as you're enrolling at least one person per month in credit restoration, you're earning enough money in compensation to offset the cost of your protection plan membership program for yourself. So an individual can really become an agent with the company, be able to do business in all 50 states, work from home or in office, wherever you choose, still get all the training, and really help people earn some extra income and take advantage of all the other perks that come along with the company. Right now we have a cruise contest going on. Everybody's going to the Bahamas that qualifies here coming up this next April. It's just going to be a great time. We also have our national convention coming up. It's a great way to network with people in the industry and really meet new people, make new friends, have a lot of fun, and again, help people along the way. So it is an awesome program.
Absolutely, and again, that's right, Randy. Now, they stop paying the $87 a month once they have 5 people under them. That's correct, right?
And that are enrolled in the...
I've never paid the $87 because I have a lot of agents and people under me that I've signed up that are protection plan members. So,
correct. So let's say you have any 5 any combination of customers or team members, their protection membership becomes free.
Right.
The company picks up that expense or that investment, and then they still continue to receive the services. I've received the services myself now for over 3.5 years, and I don't pay for them. The company covers them for me. It's a great benefits package.
You get all this stuff, including LifeLock, all of this, the credit restoration services. You can always monitor your score. It's great. And there's no annual fee, too, if you're a protection plan member. So automatically. So you can get, it's best to do that. I encourage you to. So we're going to go ahead and open it up for any questions. Again, write this info down. Everybody under the sound of my voice, hey, attention. Write this down. fixcreditscore.info. Fixcreditscore.info. To call and talk to Randy or myself, you just call 800-480-1917, extension 2222. Now, I got to tell you, there's going to be a lot of calls today from this webinar. So, just leave a message, and Randy will get right back to you. We'll get right back to you. Or shoot us an email if you have any email questions, firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com, firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com. Guys, take action on this. Okay? Everybody knows somebody that needs credit restoration and help restoring their credit score. Go ahead and send them right to us at fixcreditscore.info. They can find out everything they need right here, or say, hey, give this dude Mike a call. They know their stuff, and we would love to help your clients. But just as important as that, like Randy said, look, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. There's many people out there that need credit restoration services. I'm sure. We need good agents out there that are out there to sign these people up, that can be an advocate for them and help them get on the right track with their credit. That's where you come in. So I want to encourage you, if you're an agent especially, you know more about credit already than most consumers. You would fit in perfect to this program because this is a great way where you already have a natural flow of clients ready for your services all the time. Those are your real estate clients, right? You already have them ready to go. So again, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to any questions we have right now. So one question at a time, Let's see if we got anybody here. We don't have a whole lot of time. I missed the seminar. Is there any way to get a copy of the video? I'm going to email it out to people as well. I'm going to email a copy of this actual one here because we talked about some great, unique stuff on this webinar. So anybody here, I'm going to send it out to you so you can replay it. Or if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see one that I've done recently that's very similar, and that is youtube.com/user/short sale lead machine. Okay? And if anybody on here that needs short sale resources, you will find more resources on our site than anywhere. I don't care if you're talking CDP, anybody else. We have more free resources for short sale agents out there than anyone else in the country. We have our new short sale calculator app that's out. Just go check your app store under short sale calculator or short sale decision maker. But again, that's youtube.com/user/short sale lead machine. Martha asked, for credit restoration, how many months is the $87 for? How many months is that? Now, there's two different programs, Martha. We have the actual credit restoration services are $4.99 regularly. That's what we charge consumers. For today, it's a one-time fee of $3.99 for you guys, okay? So you can get on for $3.99 or $4.99. Well, you want to pay, you want to pay $3.99 ideally. And if you want that deal, here's the thing. I forgot to mention this. Do not sign up on fixedcreditscore.info. You have to actually call or email. Okay, email firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com or give us a call at this number here if you want to get that $100 discount today. Now, remember, that's just for credit restoration. That's the one-time fee. The $87 a month is for the protection plan, which includes everything. You're looking at this on the home page. Look, it includes positive credit builder. It includes credit restoration, the MyCare Will and Trust, the Debt Zero, the Pay Down Accelerator. It includes LifeLock identity theft protection. It includes a financial lockbox with all your financial documents on there. It includes a life insurance policy Randy mentioned. It includes the prepaid MasterCard card if you join that way too. So that includes all of the services, and you pay that as long as you are a member, as long as you want those services. And again, once you sign up 5 people, if you have 5 people that you can help find the service for, it's free. You no longer have to pay that $87. You get all those benefits automatically, which that's what I do. Hey, Randy, I have a question for you. Irene asked, Randy, you talked about the statute of limitations for judgments and liens. What is that time period for that?
Sometimes, depending on the state that you're located in, on judgments and collections, typically it's 6 years, but a lot of it depends on the nature of the collection and the state that you're in. In addition to that, a lot of it is determined by whether or not you've entered into some type of payment arrangement during that period of time and then redefaulted. So depending on, again, the state that you're in, that's a legal question. I'd reach out to an attorney that's local there in your state for your statute. We do work with, now our company does not do any debt renegotiation, but we can refer our clients to a couple companies that do debt negotiation as well as renegotiate student loans. And so if you have student loans or you want to renegotiate your debt, we can point you in that direction. But again, if it's an old collection, for example, we had a client that came in not long ago that had a repossession on their credit that had a $4,800 judgment following them around on their credit for years. And when we look to see who the creditor is, they're a lender, they're a bank that's no longer in business. So simply by disputing that item, that repossession and that collection came right off their credit because there was nobody at that creditor that even responded to the dispute. And so, every individual situation is a little bit different, and we take them case by case, and we do see fast results in as little as 45 to 60 days when somebody does enroll in our program.
Yep, Wendy asked, does the same apply for timeshare foreclosures? Randy, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, is that the same? I mean, really, if it's any item on your credit, period, can be disputed, any derogatory item. Is that the correct response to that? I haven't seen any big differentiation there.
It is, and ironically, you could even report something that was being reported correctly and that was current, which oftentimes happens, because if you were to log onto your credit and maybe there's an auto loan on there that's showing up being paid current, but it's a family member's auto loan with a similar loan to yours, and you're trying to get a loan, a home loan, and they're using that debt, they're debt loading you for that loan, you can theoretically dispute something that's not a derogatory or negative item. It just could be erroneous.
That's right. That's right. So erroneous items as well. I mean, and like you mentioned, gosh, what vast percentage of reports out there have erroneous items on there? They're just reporting incorrectly. What's that percentage? I think it's like 80-something%, I think.
Yeah, over 80%, over 40 million people have incorrect items being on their credit reports today, and that was a 60-minute television series. That was a report that they recently did here about 3 weeks ago, and I strongly suggest everybody Google it and watch it. It was a phenomenal report. And
what was, Arturo asked, what was that student loan program Randy spoke about earlier? Remember, that was at the very beginning, I believe.
Correct. If you know somebody that has student loans that they're either delinquent on, or the rates have gone up, or they need to, possibly have them reset, we do have a company that we feel confident referring people to. If you email us at firstcoastfinancialservices.com or at firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com, we'll reply with that contact information, and they can answer all your questions about the student loans.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call this an end. Remember, visit fixedcreditscore.info. You can find most all the stuff that we've talked about today on there, or give us a call at 800-480-1917, extension 2222, or email any questions or anything that you have to firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com. Remember, too, I'm going to email you out this list here. Look, I have it prepared right now. These are lenders who give loans one day after short sale or foreclosure. All right, we have a few different lenders that we're going to send out to everybody who was on this call today if you took time out just for being on here. Again, though, I know you guys know somebody that can use this service, this credit restoration service. Please send them to us. First, fixedcreditscore.info. or email firstcoastfinancialservices@gmail.com. Randy, I want to thank you so much again for taking the time out of your day to just help these consumers and help tell people about this product.